I've always loved fairies, and I've written poetry, stories, songs, all sorts of things about fairies. I've got two daughters and a son, and they've been brought up with the sort of enchanted land and all things fairy. So I decided that doing all these fairy parties and things for my daughters, I was going to turn it into a social development work, because as a life coach I realised that reaching out to children was a very different approach to things, and the way I was an expert was through fairies. So I decided to use fairies as a way to do it, and hence became the Fairy Queen of Colville, which I was named at the light switch on last Christmas when I was strangely put on stage with Sheena McHugh to do a raffle. And it was fantastic, and I could hear the children say, "It's the Fairy Queen of Colville," and I was like, "Oh!" And from that's where it came from. So that's how I was known as the Fairy Queen, and I embraced it and created a business, a community-focused business called Fairy Friends UK, which is this.
And the children like the idea of the fairies, do they?
Oh, they love it. I mean, fairies represent everything that's bright, light, wonderful. You know, it's a kind and caring environment for the children, and it's all about teaching children about socialising and, you know, positive interaction with each other. So it's boys and girls, because the Enchanted Land, of course, has pixies, elves. So it's not just fairy girls. We also have the bumblebees. So the bumblebees protect the fairies. So we have some of the children are bumblebees too. So it's all about the magic and fun of the Enchanted Land. Yeah.
And you feel that the children actually need this socialising experience?
Yes, absolutely. When I was in Australia, I realised it. I was in Western Australia, and they're about 15 years behind in many aspects. But one thing that they are just so brilliant at is being a community and socialising and being kind and being caring and having a genuine positive nature. Don't get me wrong, it's not all like that, but you know, people tend to follow the majority. And I realised coming back, especially with my littlest, she was 8 months when we went out, and so she was two and a half when we came back, and she would go up to people and say, "Hi, I'm Isabella, and what's your name? And I'd like to play," and kids would look at her as if to say, "Wow, who are you?" You know. So I thought, well, you know, what's wrong with that? It's, you know, it's positive and it's good. And I started doing some voluntary work in schools, and again I was sort of thinking, oh, you know, they're doing so much academic stuff now, there's not enough imagination and social interaction, and no one's teaching them these things. Parents are working longer hours, grandparents are even working now, they've got nobody really to teach them, and it's nobody's fault, it's just the way the world has become. So that's what inspired me. I thought life coaching is great, you know, working with adults is wonderful, but I'm picking up the pieces from the past. So if I can put the input from the beginning and work with the children and help them grow into these well-rounded individuals who are happy in their own skin and are confident enough to interact and deal with life, you know, that's what I want to do. Less life coaching at the other end. So the effect is that the life coaching will be less in the future because they're getting the input at the beginning. So that's what Fairy Friends is. It's a great way to explore imagination, creativity, singing, dancing, arts, crafts, everything that they could possibly like. You know,
and those sort of things are really what we've been talking about today, isn't it? Imagination.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, children's imaginations are absolutely amazing. And as we get older, yeah, we do tend to lose the ability to use it, and we turn to books and movies and things that sort of feed our imagination, but children have it all there already, you know, so it's
what
great.
Have you got out of today?
Oh, today has just been so inspiring. For me, it was just amazing to see what's actually going on here, and understand it better without having to sort of, time's precious, it's hard to get out and do the things that are on offer, and I've heard so much already about some of the projects, and to actually sit in a position where I've got the day free to sit and listen to it all, and it's just amazing. It's excited me that there's so many like-minded people in the area that, you know, you can sort of hold hands with and go, let's do this together, because, you know, it is about joining together and supporting each other. Many hands do make light work, you know, and it will always be that way. So yeah.